So today's topic is all about the top 5 Amazon programs, those initiatives they have to boost sales. Now, the main purpose of this is I really want to help people reframe their mindset towards Amazon because they do get a bit of a bad rap sometimes from us sellers. I know they're frustrating, but they're also our business partner. They are there to help us because the more money we make, the more money they make, and then they're wanting to help boost our sales. So they come out with these programs that can be really helpful, but they can get a bit lost in the noise, or you might not understand them. So I've just picked 5 today that I really like, or that I think might benefit the people in our audience. So let's jump into it. Before we get started, there is something I want to quickly run through, and that's to really make the most of the programs that Amazon puts together. You often need to be brand registered, which sounds a bit overwhelming and scary to some people, but really all that means is that you have a registered trademark. Once you've got that, you can unlock the full brand registry benefits. Now, we have a great blog that you can go to on the ZonGuru site that walks you through all of that. Amazon actually now, all you need is to have that trademark pending. It doesn't, because the trademark process can take a while. In some countries, it's up to 2 years. So you don't want to be waiting around. Amazon now accepts it if it's in that pending stage. So you just kind of got to get that ball rolling, get that over to Amazon, and you'll see that not only can you access all the usual things like your A+ content and storefronts, but some of these other programs that are really going to be helpful. So, thanks, Will. I think you're awesome too. So I won't dwell on this, but if anybody has any questions, of course, at the end, we can run through some of the finer points. So these are the 5 programs that I want to cover, and some will look really familiar, others you may not have heard of. So the first one, and I'm really excited about this, it's called the brand referral bonus. Has anyone heard about it? Just give me a little yes if you have. Basically, what this means is that Amazon is going to pay you for sending traffic to their site. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. If you have a website, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it might be, and you're feeding traffic through to Amazon, definitely get on board with this, because what it means is that you can earn, and it's all scaled, but on average about 10% of your sales they will give to you. So I know I've got Instagram accounts running for my brands. I get quite a few links coming through there because I'm registered for this program. Those links, they're what's called cookies. So for 14 days afterwards, anybody who has clicked on that link, who buys from one of my brands, I get that 10% click on. It's amazing. So there is no cost to set this up. There's no charge, but you must be brand registered. And at the moment, it's only in the US. I have a feeling it will be extended very soon, if they haven't very recently, to places like the UK. But it's essentially free money. And some of us are very good at advertising on those other platforms. So let's leverage it, make sure you're getting everything you can. So the downside, if you can call it that, is that you have to wait 2 months before the bonus is credited to your account, because they need to take into account refunds, any issues like that. There is that time period you've got to see out. So get it in place, and it comes off your seller fees. It's money for jam. So definitely get on board with the brand referral bonus. The next one I want to go through is what's called Amazon Launchpad. This one's been around for a little bit longer. Again, if you've heard of it, or if you're even part of the program, let me know. So this is great for anybody who has like a new innovative product that they're wanting to launch. It doesn't mean that you can't already be selling on Amazon, but they have rules around, I think it's, you can't have been selling for more than 4 years or turned over certain revenue, but that revenue is in the millions. So it is pretty wide open in terms of who can jump on it. What it is you're basically signing up with Amazon for 12 months, This one does have a cost. They do have a 5% premium. But what they're saying they will do in return is showcase your products. You're going to get it in front of people. So whether that's through placements on the website, they have certain email campaigns that go out to shoppers. They're really going to push your products, get them seen. Obviously, if you've got that great new product and you're really struggling to get in front of people, this is going to be a really good one. Personally, I'm actually considering this for the UK. The UK, I haven't sold in before. I have one product that I think would be a good fit. I'm considering using Launchpad to help really fire that product up, get it over there, and get it seen. So there's also discounts and no fees on certain promotions and things, which also helps if you're wanting to launch a product. So it is available in most of the major marketplaces as well. So a good one to think about if you have that great, even if it's such a difficult word, I need to pick another one, this great, clever new product that you want to get seen. So moving on. Again, if you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the room. I love the questions. Otherwise, we'll get to the end and we'll go through them. The next one is a unified selling account. And again, this one is a no-brainer to me because what it means is you can reach new audiences, new countries without physically having to move your stock there, without having to send. So if you're selling in the US, you can also sell in Canada, Mexico, without having to ship your stock to the FBA warehouses in those countries. Obviously, that's a reduced load on your logistics. You can manage your inventory a lot easier, but it's you're unlocking all these new customers. It's just a no-brainer. So you can also do that in the UK, and that covers places like Germany, France, Italy, Spain, the bigger markets in those regions. And what happens is you're automatically sharing your listing into those new markets. You don't need to, well, it's always good to check, but Amazon will translate your listing into the marketplace's local language. And you're basically, you sell an order in Canada, for example, you'll get a notification. Amazon will ship it from the US to Canada without you having to move your stock around. So super helpful. And you know, some of these other marketplaces can provide huge opportunities. I have a product which unexpectedly sells really well in Mexico. Not something that I ever expected to happen, but it is. And it's all being fulfilled from the US, and it's sales I wouldn't have captured if I hadn't have done the unified program and remote fulfillment. So definitely something to look into. And it's always fun when you see, you know, you've made a sale in another country as well. It's really cool. And it also is something I've noticed as well. Yes, good question, Ram. They do have extra fees on that, but you can adjust the price you charge in those markets to account. So maybe you put your price up just slightly to cover those fees. Each country, you know, there's different fees and things, so have a look into that, but you can definitely navigate your way around. So the next one I wanted to go through, and this one is incredible. I can't stress this enough. It's called Amazon Post Publisher. And when it first came out, I thought, oh, this, you know, it's just another thing that I need to do. But this has moved the needle for me more than anything else in the last couple of months. So what it is it's essentially Instagram for Amazon. And I've put a little post there so you can see what it actually looks like. Sellers, and again, this is one you need to be brand registered for, are able to post lifestyle images of their products with cute little captions, and then Amazon takes that and they organically scatter it out throughout the platform. And I'm noticing these posts appearing more and more. So they might appear at the bottom of a search page, on a listing page. They will appear, there's a different page if you've got a storefront where you can see all your posts. What's cool is that shoppers can follow your brand, and I didn't think many people would do that. They do follow. So that means if you release a new product in your brand range, you can easily notify them. You can put up a really cool lifestyle image. You know, this is a new thing that we're bringing out, and you've got an audience of people who love your brand, love your products. They're going to really help with that launch. It's really cool. So, and it's free. It's free. That's probably something I should have mentioned straight up the front. You're getting free Amazon advertising, which is unheard of. And they've also got, it's just a beta testing now, a dashboard that you can go to where it will show you how many clicks you got, what the engagement rate was, and using that I've found really helpful. So say there's a lifestyle image, you put up 5 different lifestyle images, you can see which one is performing well. Maybe that's one that you put on your listing page. It's a tool that has dual purposes in terms of you're almost testing the market. What are they responding to the most? What is getting the best engagement? Okay, let's repurpose that on our listing page. And in the meantime, shoppers are able to click straight onto, you'll see down here, lost my mouse for a second, it's linked to the product. So shoppers can see the image, they love it, they can click straight onto the listing and buy it. So definitely one, if you are brand registered, look into that. It's open to anyone who is brand registered. I'm just trying to think of what markets it's available in. It's definitely in the US. I'm not sure about the UK just yet. But from what I can see, it's been very popular, so it's probably not that far away. And the next one, I've been going a mile and a minute here, so if you do have any questions on any of these, please let me know. But the other one, and this one is straight hot off the press, is your returns and refurbishments. Now, this was a big pain point of mine. My first brand, I sold that earlier this year, but it was in a category that had quite a high return rate. It was just typical of that niche that there were high returns. So I was always frustrated, especially you can hear from my accent, I'm based in Australia, for those US products that were returned. I didn't want them going straight back into the next customer if the packaging was damaged or if they'd been used or whatever it might be. So this is a program that Amazon has brought in to help, I guess, recoup costs and get those products back into your inventory quicker and get them on their way to their next customer. So what they're giving sellers the option to do is to choose to have Amazon refurb their products. So a return comes in, Amazon will inspect it to check that the box is intact. They'll remove any excess tape or stickers. I've even read that if it's clothing, for example, they can steam clean the garment. They can make minor repairs. I'm not sure what that looks like or how that's done, but I know there is a report if you do opt into this program. And full disclosure, I haven't opted in yet. I'm still researching it. If you do opt in, there is a report that you can pull that does give you information about what they've done for your products, what that looks like. So very interesting. And again, it is so fresh. I have a feeling this one will evolve over time. But there are extra third-party I guess, providers that do help with returns as well. So if this is an issue for you, I would recommend looking into this program. Maybe trial it, see what it's like. Let me know. I'd love to know. I said I haven't started it. I will probably trial it myself. But there is a company called Backtrack, and you may have heard of that. They are great for dealing with returns and refurbishments as well. They will even give you photos of what the product looks like. You can tell them what you want to happen to it. But this is obviously an area where you can recoup a lot of costs because it is not only can you potentially lose that inventory if you do nothing, the other side of it is it can go out again and then you get a low return because it was broken or damaged or somebody didn't check it right. So it's definitely an area you want to get across correctly. So they are the 5, and I have just absolutely ripped through those. But what I want to do is I'll bring Kimberly back on. I want to know what you think. Have you seen any of these programs? So anyone in the room, are you using any of these programs? Do you have any questions? What was there one there that you went, oh my gosh, I need to look into this. This is something that is really going to help me, because what I want to if there's any takeaway from today, it's that to reframe your mindset in terms of Amazon is your business partner. They are in business with you, and they are trying to help you be a better seller. The more money you make, like I said, the more money they make. And they're the ones picking and packing your orders, dealing with customer support. They're bringing the customers to you. Really leverage the tools that they're giving you. Kimberly, did you have any thoughts on what those programs
Oh,
were?
I can't wait to sign up for all of them.
Yeah.
I did have a question though, because the brand referral bonus, that's a lot like affiliate marketing.
Kind of,
But
yeah.
yeah, but in affiliate marketing, your affiliate link would be for any purchase on the platform. This is restricted to only purchases within your own brand, correct?
That's right. It's got to be in your own brand, and it lasts 14 days. So say you were in the pet category and you had 15 different types of dog beds. Whoever clicks on that link, and they can buy any one of those 15 products in the next 2 weeks, and you'll get the bonus. You'll get that referral, which is, it's really nice, because a lot of us are leading traffic to Amazon anyway. We're doing it whether we're getting that bonus or not. So why not put that link on there and make sure that you get that extra money in your pocket?
Yeah,
To me,
absolutely. And I only had one other question. The unified selling account. So what kind of tax things do you need to make sure you have in place, or is that mitigated because you're actually selling from the US into those countries?
yeah, I think it's a bigger issue in the UK there, because you're dealing with VAT over there. So, and that's not something I've done. If anyone is selling in the UK, I would love to hear from you and how that works. But for the US, it hasn't been a problem for me, because Amazon's been doing it on my behalf. So, yeah,
Cool.
obviously can't give tax advice. So everybody's situation will be slightly different. And I'm not a US resident as well. So that may affect it too. There's so many moving parts there. It can get a bit full on, but yeah, UK, I'm not quite sure how that works, but with Amazon, they always have a process behind what they do. They're very logical with that sort of thing. So any questions? It doesn't need to be about those programs. It can be anything at all, on any of our tools or anything Amazon. You've got 2 Amazon sellers in front of you now, ready to help. We're here. We're here. The one thing I wanted to ask you, Kimberly, is I know with have returns been an issue for you? Would you consider using Amazon to deal with your refurbish? How would you feel about knowing that they're repackaging? And because to me, it's such a, I take it very personal. I want to make sure that that product is how it should be. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
kind of on the fence.
Yeah, so I'm kind of fortunate because I'm based in Perth, but I still have family in the US. So
Ah.
I've actually been leveraging my daughter to get all of my returns. So everything that has, the returns and removals, they'll go to her if
Yeah.
Amazon deems them not sellable. But I have noticed a couple times one of my products being sold by Amazon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, so they've taken one of my products that's been returned and they don't consider it sellable, but they're selling it. So I was like, yeah, no, I don't like that. So I think I would like
No.
this. So it comes from, yeah, yes, it's refurbished and it comes from me. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to give it a shot.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. I like that they're starting to consider it, that it's on their radar, because obviously it is an issue, more so for some niches other than others. But yeah, it's
Well, I imagine
interesting.
they probably want to get some of that business away from some of those third party places like Backtrack.
True. Yeah, yeah, true, very true. So I can just see that Ram's asked a question. So as a beginner, should we start selling a generic brand or pursue your own brand? Um, Yeah, so really, really good question. The benefit of having your own brand is that you're basically creating a moat around your product. So, especially if you have a trademark, someone else can't come in, replicate your product with the same branding, depending on how far you go with patents and things. But basically, that's your product. If you sell a generic one, anyone else can come in and sell that too. And then essentially you're competing on price, which is what you want to avoid. So we do recommend being a private label seller, finding that niche, that product, differentiating to solve a pain point that possibly isn't being done in the market, so that you have that, John calls it that moat, that protection around your product. Feel free to add any comments that.
I coming into Amazon when I did, it was automatic for me that I wanted to build a brand, because my brand is something I'm really passionate about. But I'm hearing in a lot of circles about Amazon selling that it is now we're at the age of it's brand awareness. So the whole philosophy in being successful, you can't just grab any product and put it on Amazon the way you could 5 to 10 years ago. You do have to have that brand identity to really stand out.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. If only we all started selling in 2015, it would, different times. The other thing I just want to add there is that you're also creating an asset. So if you have a brand and then you build that up, people pay very, very good money for FBA businesses. If you're selling a generic product, you're not really creating that asset, that goodwill that you wouldn't get as much for your business down the track. So I've just had a question come in about Niche Finder having different results to the Chrome extension. This is a great question, one that comes up quite a bit. And the reason why you're seeing different data, as anyone who's used Niche Finder knows, there is a tremendous amount of information that pulls through. So that data is your guide. That's your starting point. Chrome extension is showing you how it's performing right now on Amazon. So it's leveraging the most up-to-date data available. There is a slight time lag in Niche Finder because it's having to pull such an incredible amount of data. We do update that very often, very regularly, but considering how fast Amazon moves and change, I mean, some products, their rankings jump around like a yo-yo. So you will notice there are differences between the two. So I'd be using Niche Finder to basically start that process of generating ideas. I'll often go into Niche Finder and find products that I didn't even know existed. I don't even know what they are until I click on them. So it's getting those creative ideas flowing, and then you go to the Chrome extension to see, okay, what is it doing right now on Amazon? That's your most up-to-date metrics. So I hope that helps with that question. So we've got another one come in from Diane. The unified selling account and Australia. When Amazon US states that the product will ship to Australia, I'm assuming that they have a unified selling account. Yeah, so I'm seeing this more and more on the Australian Amazon site. So you'll be shopping, you'll see something you like, and then you'll notice that the delivery time is 2 to 3 weeks out. And obviously that means that it's being fulfilled from the US. They don't have stock in Australia. So you're spot on there, Diane. But what I would think of when I see that is that this is potentially a product opportunity, because if I'm shopping in a niche and every single one I'm clicking on is coming from the US, if I was to do that product in Australia, not only am I going to probably steal a lot of the clicks because people don't like waiting. No one wants to wait. But Amazon will favor me because I'm doing Australian FBA. It's a huge niche opportunity there. And it's really exciting in the Australian market right now, because those are those big macro niches. You don't have to get really specific like you do in the US. You've got some great categories that fast forward 5 years from now will probably be so tightly held, it will be like the US and you can't get into those big ones.
And just to comment on that, because my product is in the US, but I notice if I forget and I'm researching and I forget to change my address and I'm in Australia, it'll say that it'll ship here, and I'm not part of the unified selling program. So I think that there was somewhere when I first started my account that just said you would allow them to ship things overseas for you if someone wanted to. Because I know some have known some people that have been buying things from Amazon US versus Amazon Australia. And they say they get here decently fast, but yeah, that's definitely a big gap in the market when you see that everything else is shipping either FBM or from the US. You come in FBA, you take the top spot organically because you're FBA and they're going to favor you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, the low competition, and some people don't like Australia because it is emerging. You don't have those huge niches, but the growth we're seeing, the other day we found one and I had to stop and go, this can't be right. But it was just that the growth in that niche had been so dramatic in the last 6 months that, you know, especially I guess there's more and more Australians are stuck at home at the moment, online shopping, and the lead up to Christmas, there's just a huge opportunity in Australia. So, Stephen, thank you. Unrelated, that is fine. May I ask if a barcode is used to create a dummy listing on Amazon, and then that dummy listing is worked on in, sorry, I'm just reading through the question. They do. So barcodes, if you're just using it in the ZonGuru software and you haven't uploaded that to Amazon, that's okay. You can use that. But if you've listed that barcode with Amazon, you can't then switch it to a different product that I'm aware of. So if you're playing around in Listing Optimizer, for example, you're wanting to get your listing ready, you're working on your products, there's no need to actually put a barcode in there. You can just create what's called a blank listing and it will save that. And when you've got your product is done and you've got the real barcode, there's no harm in, you know, putting that in there. Then you can adjust the listing. So no need to be playing around with dummy ones. In the meantime, you can just create a blank one. So I hope that helps. Cool. Not sure if you have inventory in the Australian market. How much time does it normally take to ship products in in Australia? So I find I buy quite a lot on Amazon Australia, based on the Gold Coast. So I usually get things within 2 to 3 business days, which I think is very good for Australia. I'm not sure what Perth is like at the moment.
The last few things I've bought on Amazon Australia, I think, have shipped from the US because it was an electrical item.
Right.
So yeah, but when I have gotten things that have been in Amazon Australia, it's been quite fast.
Yeah, yeah. And they're doing more, again, this is your business partner that you're working with. They're doing more and more. I know they're opening up a big facility just down the road from me, which is really cool. So I'm expecting there'll be more and more popping up around the country. The more they have, the faster those delivery times are going to be. But I think Australians in general, we're quite used to waiting a little bit longer than the US just because we are so spread out. It would be rare to receive something next business day. And at the moment, that's just what we're used to. But time will see how Amazon evolves with that. Stephen, not a problem. I can show you how to do that. I will reach out after this training and send you a little video on how to get that one done. Not a problem. I'll just write it down.
And just to follow on, I think there is an FBA warehouse in Perth because I've heard people talking about their shipments being directed to Perth versus the East Coast, and it was going to end up costing them more in shipping. But then again, other people are saying that right now on the East Coast, there's because of the lockdowns, there's a backlog in getting things into the FBA fulfillment centers. So.
Yeah, I have heard that Melbourne in particular has had long wait times. And as Amazon sellers, that's largely out of our control. It's just think if you're having that problem, pretty much every other seller will too. So it is an equal playing field in that sense. Yeah. Any other questions? Feel free to send them through. Otherwise, we might give ourselves an early mark today because I think I just absolutely flew through those slides. But You will get a replay in your inbox later today. So if you wanted to run through anything, it's there. Otherwise, support@ZonGuru, or just click the little chat bubble in the bottom right-hand corner and you'll be connected straight away with the team. We're always happy to help with any questions that you've got. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add, Kimberly?
No, I gotta get signed up for all these this afternoon. So
It sounds great. All right, well, thank you so much, everyone, and I hope to see you again on the, we've got one last, just before I hit the button. Peter, just about to launch, what videos would you suggest I watch? There was a launch training that we did recently. I'll get that into your inbox, because there's a few little tips and tricks in there that you might find helpful. And congratulations, it's such a exciting time when you've especially put in all that hard work. I'm sure there's been months and months and months that have gone into this, and you're about to launch that first sale. You'll never forget, you'll never ever forget where you were and what you were doing at that time, because it's just that it's proof that the business model works and that you're onto a good thing. Cool. Well, on that note, I'll end it there. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time.
bye, everybody.